Caitlin Clark on the floor here today, scoring in a season as Boston
shooting it in the corner.
Roster, she and Stephanie Dolson, probably mentions, as too does Indiana.
Big deal for Indiana.
Expectations. Colson left alone.
Everyone comes at you quickly. The closeout.
Defense, that means they don't hold the ball for more than a second.
Both teams playing quick on the lob.
Here's Bonner, Boston. She'll take it herself.
They've got to improve that mark and try to. So she looks fantastic, helpful this year with the depth.
Mitchell, Olsen, she's a good three-point shooter. Percentage a year ago. He had some of the top three shot fake, got Enxler into the air.
To Brittany Sykes from Washington before the game. Added weapon for sure.
Questionably, one of the veterans here on a
players is the speed with which
he's in minutes here coming off the bench. You can imagine.
That's going to be
Colson bouncing, Howard charging. And here is the 4th overall pick. Your rhythm back as Area Fit.
There. I bet it's in the work.
Here for Indiana for the first in the corner here. Iriafin.
Looking forward to learning on the road. The
Fever team is especially important to be built here as Mitchell fire away.
Last year, she played a lot off the ball. Fantastic working without the ball. That's a
season in Fever scoring. Draft. Those players trying to make this
really good defender.
Great years in Greece. Iriafin Carp. Teammate Sonia Citron, one of the most productive players in all of college basketball. Athleticism-driven WNBA game. Oh, the hesitation in.
And certainly Lexi Hall on the.
Recto lines up.
And if we start seeing a lot of that in the league.
Those two have a lot in common as Citron.
By Washington in the draft.
Bonner crossing over. Here is Dewana Bonner heading to the free throw rate. I think when Bonner was signed.
A lot at the 3 spot. I think we're going to see her winning 2 WNBA. 22-25 minutes.
Here is Sykes drive.
Lace him up. Why are you standing?
I can't play with him tight.
That's one. We're going to keep track all year.
Citron, hands off.
That lower leg.
In Iowa City tomorrow. And as a cutting, Cole's going to have to get it up. She just
hoops in the great state of Indiana.
Down to tomorrow. Say probably closer to 10. Be careful as Cunningham is left alone.
Crosskopf and Amber Cox. Nice job of driving to the baseline.
Might have gotten away with a foul there on Hull. Give how well she is playing when most.
And it's a player that's
weaving through traffic. Bonner extra pass. All of Cunningham have had really good chemistry and points. A couple of rebounds in 8 minutes. The Boston Shield attacker and some. Indiana still just reasons for the Fever not be at. Not too strong. Howard right place, right. It's on the break, wheeling inside. Howard trying to use her size. The 3 gets right to the rim.
Has actually tried to been getting her to what they were trying to do, and she's been told you
had an option as far as out here in that first preseason game. All of her different.
Getting skinny over the top of screening act by team.
And will she get it off in time?
She can outscore all the teams. You got to be able to defensive end.
Here's Howard. That going to excel without a ton of coach.
Was #1 in defensive coach in her career. Player to be able to see.
Shot too strong there from Olsen.
We're actually going to have the officiating in the league.
Defensive-minded coach Stephanie White.
There's some new vernacular ball screen, but you got to know personnel.
Lucy Olsen and Kelsey Mitchell, that free throw shooter a year ago. Vice versa, Kelsey helping out. Here's Olsen spinning away. Flip shot turns that one over. Here's Hole on a clear out. Mitchell, she will fire. The rule, and so Jones couldn't handle it. Here's Cunningham. Well, there are some players who.
The floor is going to be much different for Sophie this year.
Doesn't matter if it's preseason practice. Off Mitchell, step back. Again, Cunningham, coast to coast.
What?
Not 17. In regular season form as Howard stepping back, using that athleticism. Wilson launches, half. Melvin leaks out, high arcing. Howard backdoor, Hole gets inside.
Impressive.
Here is Mitchell and bounces Howard the left hand.
A numbers advantage.
Okay, she averaged 18 points.
They can change the rhythm. That gives you.
That's because the whiff of our preseason opener. The first quarter, and now Bonner to the.
Is not in the act of shooting. No stops. Their pick and roll game is trying to.
Final minute. All of the shot clock down to 5. A little 2-man game. Here's Enxler, corner. Talk about plays and situation. De facto last shot, and instead the Fever leaves it for Sutton, who's wide open.
What an incredible campaign. Been since 2016. Now they're not.
Mitchell did not hit a shot in the first. And is pulled back within two. Here's Citron.
Some lanes and some angles.
That third overall pick.
Stuff right here. High ball screens.
Battling underneath. Got her own offensive rebound. Got 11. Sykes the leading scorer on the rookie. Extra pass. Anxler is open. % from the field. They've got this. Sykes feed in. Repost Olsen and a third foul. 2 on the afternoon. Citron turns the corner. High.
Citron's probably going to get 8 or 9.
Cross-court pass. Here is the rookie. Dial player. Somebody that, as you know. Mitchell extra pass. Bonner corner. Anxler left alone.
8 new coaches in the league.
Opposite for Boston on a fake. Boston 100% ready for the beginning of now. Recto, good position. Shits the rookie. Area Finn. Howard floats it. We see that unlocked tomorrow.
Moves pretty well.
As Boston just got around Prechtel, but Washington Melbourne, pretty spin, gets to the rim.
Knowing any schemes on the defense.
So here is Ashton Prechtel to the line. And kind of size up.
Back up for Stephanie Dolson.
Hand off Mitchell, bullseye. Here is Olsen on the.
This is the way teams in the league play. It's fast.
Melbourne, the inbounder, got it back, set up extra pass, corner 3, hit. Olsen and Bonner.
She gets available, and then Lexi.
Since that Boston 3 to double team, Cunningham fakes the pass.
Pass took too long to get there. The Fever.
Cunningham. Here it's not a shooting foul, so then on Anxler, Bonner hangs. Bonner.
Oh, big and long. DeWine.
So 5 here from the line today. Wants to finish her career as Anxler left alone, and she looking inside for Boston. She and Dolson really back. Something to stick with her. Boston shot fakes. Boston looking back door and got it to
Talk about how good her IQ was on the.
They feed inside 2 beautiful passes.
Those calls off the ball that.
To that replay review. Sykes launches. Ashton Hole will launch.
Sykes.
The WNBA's referee performance.
To be here with you guys. This is fun. It's a fun season. And those points of it and the officiating, you know, we saw traveling, contact of the game, and offense.
Off-season that you're coaching.
For the Final Four, really. We have 2 classroom training event. They're just tighten that up and get more.
Sizzle here in front of the Gamebridge field. What goes into a decision like that?
Yeah, so, and then sort of with that came session. We're settling into those. Anticipate, you know, in the.
See on a replay.
I mean, that's a great question. Every call, every no call, you know, on is really training our ref
Hustle to look like you're not working. Is it somebody back?
Team, and they train them. We're really looking for, you know, rough, and we don't want to allow players to when we make a foul.
Here helping educate us on some of the areas. Good luck to your group here as we get started in
That she just popped up here in the booth and right.
Citron corner 3.
All on the same side. Look at Boston with the listening skills on display here in the 4th
As well. Hole carving out score for Stephanie White. Out of the Olympics last year. Mitchell. Clock down to 5 with Mitchell into here in the second half. Finn over Boston. Pass was too high from Ejim. On Ejim, putting on the moves. Ducks.
Making an impact through whether it's the event, how locked into
Mitchell on the drive. Aggressive attack.
to make the team.
In this Fever roster, of course, Howard Finn with the size advantage goes to work. Well, came over from
Today as well.
Here is Brown.
Teams digging deeper into their bench.
Floor here for Washington. 4 different inside, sets up Hull. Out of bounds. Ball out of. It was Green who comes to the foul line, bounces inside. Prechtel launches the steal. Prechtel corner 3. Perhaps available on
It's a glass.
quarter. The Fever there in the 4th quarter. And again, both rosters for the players and the coach. They've been called for just 2 here in the 4th quarter. Tour. Here's Hole right up the gut.
Certainly her range is impressive.
As well.
Congratulations.
Off the mark.
See, but there's also an understanding of these, though, with their effort.
Shot it well from the floor, but they certainly. Lacey on the shot fake, fires up.
12 seconds back.
Okay. Knight finds the Iowa Star Olsen of the year. Well, we're expecting excitement. Citron turns the corner. High
Shots in the game. You're going to get Citron's probably going to get 8 or 9.
Sutton, Anxler, cross-court pass. Here is the rookie. Dial. He's viewed as a high ceiling player. Somebody that, as you know, and you'll see more of that here at the pro level.
Excellent pick by the franchise.
Boston handoff. Mitchell extra pass. Bonner corner. Sykes attacking. Anxler left alone.
It's different. As in the 8 new coaches in the league.
Mitchell turning the corner. The hesitation drops it for Boston on a fake. Boston, good start last year. Maybe wasn't 100% ready for the beginning of.
Indiana switching 1 through 5 right now.
Recto, good position. Just up Howard. Howard going against the rookie. Area Finn. Howard floats his get-ahead passes. We'll see that unlocked tomorrow.
Plays some good match with her 6'5" form. Moves pretty well.
Boston hit that early 3. Here is Boston, just got around Prechtel, but
if you do take a gamble.
Sutton, the only starter on the floor for Washington. Melvin, pretty spin, gets to the rim.
And half. Not showing any schemes on the defense.
So here is Ashton Prechtel to the line. WNBA regular season minutes and kind of size up roster spots.
I think Prechtel's a good backup for Stephanie Dolson.
Boston, handoff Mitchell, bullseye. Here is Olsen on the.
But I think this is the way teams in the league play. It's fast.
Melvin, the inbounder, got it back, set up Bonner. Bonner gets inside. Boston, extra pass, corner 3. He on a 16-year pro. Olsen and Bonner.
And then the post up by Boston. She gets available, and then Lexi.
And now looking to take their first lead since that Boston 3 to. Boston driving into a double team. Cunningham fakes the pass. See Melvin. Yeah. She comes up with a turnover.
Pass took too long to get there. Really setting the tone for the Fever.
Cunningham here. It is the 3rd foul on Washington. It's not a shooting foul, so Bonner shot fakes the 3, driving on Anxler. Bonner hangs. Bonner to fall.
You forget how big and long DeWan playing the 3 spot, and you have to defend her.
And she's 5 of 5 here from the line today. She wants to finish her career as Anxler left alone, and she 2. And looking inside for Boston. She and Dolson really back. Hesitation. Defense there by Sutton to stick with her. Boston shot fakes on. Boston looking backdoor and got it to.
I remember how Dawn Staley used to talk about how good her IQ was on the year.
Brown able to wrestle that one away. Feet inside, 2 beautiful passes.
I personally like those calls off the ball.
Indiana up by 1 now, thanks to that replay review. Seconds here of the 3rd quarter. Sykes launches, and look, turned it over on their last possession. Hole will launch.
Dolson setting a really nice drag for Sykes.
Joined by Associate Vice President, the WNBA's referee performance.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm happy to be here with you guys. This is fun. It's a fun point of education for the season. And those points of education are head coaches and general managers. And the officiating, you know, we saw movement, screening, traveling, contact, and then respect for the game and offensive
games as well. What are some of the things in the offseason that you're concentrating on?
NBA in right after the Final Four, really. We have 2 train, and then we just came off of a 4-day classroom training event. I mean, they're in video. They're trying to work on our replay. You know, just tighten that up and get more.
Second 3 as she continues to sizzle here in front of the Gamebridge field. Rulebook perspective, and if so, what goes into a decision like that?
Yeah, so that was a new rule. And then sort of with that came sort of a successful challenge if there's no possession. It can exhale a little bit in that we're settling into those innovate the game. And so I anticipate, you know, in the
action is going to be very different than what you can see on a replay.
I mean, that's a great question. So every play, every call, every no call, you know, the team. So what we focus on is really training our ref
and hustling to get there, and when not to hustle to look like you're not working. How, I mean, when you say analytics team, is it somebody back?
Goes through our games. They have a reviewer team, and they train them. They grade our officials. So we're really looking for, you know, the NBA, but we don't want to let it get rough, and we don't want to allow players once in rhythm as sort of the guidelines for when we make a foul.
Well, Sue, we greatly appreciate you joining us here, helping educate us on some of the areas. We appreciate your insight, and best of luck to your group here as we get started in Sue's insights here.
How about that? She just popped up here in the booth and what they're looking at, because everybody wants them to get it right.
Citron, corner three. Washington gets back nicely defensively.
Citron icing, keeping the ball on the same side. Look at Boston with Leah Boston, and we've seen her passing skills on display here in the fourth.
Ejim has checked in, one of the rookies as well. Hull carving out space. It's an interesting grouping here on the floor for Stephanie Whites. So Jade Melvin, third-year guard, out of won bronze with Australia at the Olympics last year. Mitchell with a shot clock down to 5. Mitchell into he's knocked down 3 shots here in the second half. Iriafin over Boston. Too hot to handle there for Hull. The pass was too high from Ejim. Iriafin on Ejim, putting on the moves. Ducks.
Huddles, there's a lot of new voices making an impact, whether it's the team while she's on the bench, but the main takeaway has been how locked into
Kelsey, thank you. Here is Mitchell. Mitchell on the drive, aggressive attack.
Tremendous upside and a real opportunity to make the team.
1,000 career rebounds, and 2 of them are on this Fever roster. Of course, Howard. So the switch on to Boston. Here's Iriafin with the size advantage, goes to work. Jalen Brown, who has just checked in as well. Came over from
Noah Edwards for Washington today as well.
Here is Brown.
Both teams digging deeper into their bench.
And not a single starter on the floor here for Washington.
Green played 7 years in college.
4 different rookie. Here's Cunningham, gets inside, sets up Hull. For him, tried to take the out-of-bounds ball out. Indiana turns it over on the inbound pass. It was Green who comes. Olsen shot fakes the 3, gets to the foul line, bounces inside. Here's Olsen working on Hull. Prechtel launches. Have, who has just checked in, comes up with the steal. Prechtel corner 3. A spot or 2 perhaps available on.
But you got to get on the defensive glass.
So 124 left here in the fourth quarter, and the Fever, their lead. They've been outscored 20-11 here in the fourth quarter. And again, both rosters these moments, but great learning opportunities for the players and the coach. That is Washington's foul to give. They've been called for just 2 here in the fourth quarter. Top Turner's pass knocked away, came right back to her. Here's Hull right up the gut.
Made herself better. Certainly her range is impressive. Hull.
Just got engaged a couple weeks ago as well.
Congratulations.
Off the mark.
There's a sense of urgency, but there's also an understanding of it. Washington's got to be pleased, though, with their effort, trying to figure some stuff out.
2 from the free throw line here today. They haven't shot it well from the floor, but they certainly. Lacey on the shot fake, fires up.
$12 seconds back.
Okay. Knight on the floor as well. Tick away. Green with 5. Finds the Iowa Star Olsen in the first preseason game of the year. Well, we're expecting excitement.